this is Celeste and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you the stamps of the cards I made using the 2019 July My Monthly Hero Kit from Hero Arts. So this month's kit was very much outdoor themes. We've got mountains and trees, lake elements, lots of fun. Coordinating the cutting dies. There were also several inks that came with the kit and this fabulous Blue Pearl embossing powder that I'm going to show you how I used. So the first card I made is mainly featuring the mountains. I really liked the mountain element in the kit, so I used that quite a bit. I was going for a Purple Mountains Majesty theme, so I had my purple, and then I did a lighter purple, and then I faded out to grays to kind of give you the illusion of the mountains going back. The water is from Kitchen Sink Stamps, the greeting is from Unity, and then I ink blended the sky in the background. When I showed this card to my husband, years ago in the Army, he was deployed to Albania, and he said that this card reminded him a lot of Albania, and it was just missing a little Apache flying around in the background. So that's some fun. So this one here was my Cool Down on a Hot Summer's Day card. So this one really showcases that Blue Pearl embossing powder. So I stamped out the detail, the water detail stamp with some dark blue ink, and then I heat embossed over the whole thing with the Blue Pearl embossing powder. I then trimmed the edge to make sort of a shoreline, and I used the blue embossing powder that had come in the kit a couple months ago for the bottom. And after I stamped out the mountains, I used the white satin pearl embossing powder for the details in the mountains. So this card is just full of sparkle. So my next card is dark. So I'm going to put a piece of white paper in here so you can actually see it. So this one here, I just used the cutting dies for the mountains. So I cut them out and then I edged them with a glitter pen so that it would stand out. And then those are foam, layered with foam tape. And then I ink blended a sunset background and did Every Day Holds New Magic, which is from Unity as well. So get rid of our back here. Okay, this one here wasn't what I planned on when I started. So I started out with a piece of light blue cardstock, and I used the Alabaster pigment ink from Brutus Monroe to stamp out just the detail part of the mountains. And then when I got that all stamped out, I was like, well, it's kind of boring. I need something. So I started blending some ink in, and of course my ink blending went over the pigment ink. But it was a very cool effect because that pigment ink picked up the blue and just made it look more detailed. So I finished it up and I looked at it and I'm like, oh, that sort of screams inner peace. So I, stamped Namaste on there so all you yogis can feel the light with this card. The next card is a very traditional use of the set. This is fully stamped out, so the dock is stamped, the trees are stamped and then masked, and then the mountains in the background. I was going for a very summery feel for this one, so I didn't put any of the detail on the background. It was just sort of mountains in the distance. So with this one, I used alcohol markers to color in the water, and I purposely didn't do it smoothly so it would look like a little bit of movement in the water. And then I stamped the silhouette of the little girl in there, and life is better at the lake. So my next one is along the same lines, but done a little differently. So this one is pretty much done with all die cuts, or with paper layered. So each element of this is actually a different layer of paper. So it has a little bit of dimension, which you can't see so much in there, a little bit there. You can see it a little bit. So I stamped and die cut the dock. I ink blended the water, and then I stamped the water detail element. And this time I embossed the water detail element with the Blue Pearl embossing powder, so you can really see how it picks up the blue underneath and makes it shimmer. Then I just kept making my paper grow taller and cutting out different elements with different color cardstock. I did not have a cardstock color that I liked for the mountains, so that I stamped out and then die cut that as well, and then used the cloud stencil in the background. The stamp that comes with the kit is a silhouette stamp. I didn't want to do the black for this, so I stamped this out. I made a skin color combo. The Hero Arts Soft Apricot ink stamped off once and then stamped down in the image, and then the soft vanilla stamped down, and it actually made a really great skin tone. And then I just drew in her bathing suit and her hair. So that was a fun card. So my next one, I got a nice masculine birthday card. This kit is great for making masculine cards if you are like me and struggle with masculine cards because you absolutely love flower stamps. It's a great kit. So stamped out the trees, ink blended some water, stamped my canoe fishing man, and then I stamped and die cut the cattails cut it all out using an oval cutting die, and then made an oval frame to go around it. So, and then the frame, I actually made a frame. This isn't a mat, so it's flush with the paper. And then just a little band of brown in the background to give it, you know, to keep it from being too boring. And happy birthday. So, along the same lines as that one, I really wanted to use a little Loch Ness Monster in there. So I did a very similar scene. The Loch Ness Monster is heat embossed with green embossing powder, so he shines a little bit. And then life is better at the lake, you know, with the Loch Ness Monster. So this next card was my super silly outside of the box card for the kit. I looked at those pine trees and said, gosh, those would make really great jagged teeth. So I stamped and heat embossed them with white on red cardstock and used an oval cutting die to cut out the mouth. Then I laid the mouth on top, the actual teeth part on top of some pink paper, and I drew out the actual lips. And once I was done with that, I added some detail to it, and then I die cut the oval size smaller than my teeth. I die cut that out of the lips so that they could sit on top of the teeth. So the eyebrows are the mountain detail stamp, done with white pigment ink, and then I just used the oval cutting dies to cut out the eyes and a circle punch for the pupils in the eyes. So, and then the wish you were here was kind of my silly, well, not that this whole card isn't silly, but it was my silly, you know, wish you were here, like, you know, a monster wishes you were here inside his mouth. So anyway, this is my funny card for the month. And my last card is this one here, and all I did was stamp out the cattails. I inked them with the ink cubes. It's super easy to ink two different colors on the stamp. So I inked the bottom leafy part with the green, and then the cattail heads with the brown inks that came in the kit. And then I just cut that out and mat it, and then I used the Gina K, this is the leafy stencil. I used the Gina K leafy stencil for my background, mounted that on, put some sequins for a little excitement, and that's it. So these are the cards I made using the kit for July. I hope you've enjoyed them, and if you have, please like the video and maybe subscribe to my channel, and you have a great day. We'll see you next time.